Dragon Ball fans normally think of the humans as the fodder race in Dragon Ball. They don't have the same fighting power as Saiyans do, and they can't regenerate like Namekians can. But by the end of this video, I hope to convince you that not only are humans not fodder, but they are the most superior race in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. So in this video, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why humans are OP in Dragon Ball. The first reason is that they have the best energy attacks. When you think about humans, they do tend to be weaker fighters than the Nameks and the Saiyans. But what they lack in physical strength, they make up for in how much of a multiplier their energy techniques are. Let's think about this. Frieza, the galactic tyrant that enslaved the entire Saiyan race, that one-shot their entire planet and obliterated them. He destroyed all of the Saiyans with literally just one energy attack. But then he received his first ever serious injury from a mere human. That goes to show that even though Krillin was way weaker than Frieza was, he was able to use an energy attack that was concentrated heavily enough to damage a being probably tens if not hundreds of times stronger than him. No one will ever forget how awesome it was seeing Tien to be the first one to hold down Semi-Perfect Cell and even manage to stop him from getting at Android 18. Think about this. Semi-Perfect Cell could one-shot any Super Saiyan any day of the week, and here Tien is holding him down. That is awesome, despite the fact that Tien is weaker than Android 17 physically. He is now able to hold down a being that has absorbed Android 17. Also, it kind of makes you wonder why Tien didn't just do this attack before Cell absorbed Android 17. He might have even killed him if he had done that. How many times did the solar flare save the lives of the Dragon Ball crew? Even if you think about the 2 most powerful normal energy attacks, the Big Bang Kamehameha and the final Kamehameha, those attacks would not have even been possible had a human, Master Roshi, not invented the Kamehameha. So we do need to throw some respect on the humans and how their contributions have made the Dragon Ball cast as powerful and varied as they are. Speaking of varied, the human fighters have the most refined and varied martial arts techniques. Even though the Saiyans are known as a warrior race, the mere existence of the World Tournament proves that humans love to fight just as much as Saiyans do. You see this all throughout the history. When Goku was raised among human beings, he learned some pretty good techniques. You see humans fighting all out in tournaments, even breaking bones. Ferocious fighters with really good techniques. The best example of this is possibly the fact that a mere human, Master Roshi, almost discovered Ultra Instinct against Jiren. The fact that you have Jiren, who could fodderize Super Saiyan Blues, missing a punch against an old man who's merely a human, proves how OP the humans are. And when you think about Roshi, he never trained with King Kai, he never trained with Beerus, he never trained with Whis, he only ever trained on the Earth. He would basically either be looking at dirty magazines or taking naps and doing training in private, and his mere Earth-based human training allowed him to dodge a punch that would have damaged a Super Saiyan Blue. It kind of makes you wonder if the Saiyans really just suck at gaining power-ups, because why are humans able to close gaps with them just by technique alone? And no one will ever forget how cool the multiform technique is. How many times was that used? But now let's get to the reason you guys probably think of when you think of humans, and that is their intelligence. The fact that they have the best technology, and that technology has saved the Z Fighters time and again. Whether it's the Dragon Radar, the Time Machine, the Heart Virus Antidote, or even the Gravity Room that allowed the Saiyans to train and multiply their power so much. None of that would have been possible without human ingenuity. Even the fact that Bulma was able to reprogram the Scouter and reverse engineer Saiyan technology proves that their IQ is just off the charts. They are most likely the most intelligent race in the entire Dragon Ball franchise. Think about the way that their technology enhances fighters. When the Planet Trade Organization found Frieza half dead floating in space, they were able to augment him, but they could not augment him enough to make him stronger than a Super Saiyan. You had the best space technology, the best space scientists, and you already had a being that was capable of tanking a planet-level explosion, and their technology could not even get him above a Super Saiyan. Meanwhile, Dr. Gero, with only Earth-based materials and only humans to experiment on, was able to invent technology that made a human able to one-shot a Super Saiyan. So let's go back to here. You have space technology not overcoming the Super Saiyan hump. You have Earth-based technology easily overcoming the Super Saiyan hump. It is indisputable that human technology is by a wide margin the best technology ever to exist in Dragon Ball franchise. But that's not even the half of it. If you think about fighters like Super 17, he would not even exist were it not for Dr. Gero's ingenuity. But the most notable, most important technological invention that the humans ever made was the Blitzwave machine, because without it, we would not have had the strongest fusion ever to exist in the Dragon Ball franchise, and that's Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, a warrior without equal, would not exist without Bulma inventing the Blitzwave machine. So the strongest fusion, and actually he is the second strongest character in the entire franchise. The only character in Dragon Ball above him is 100-year time skip Goku. That's number one. Gogeta is number two, and then Super Saiyan 4 from Dragon Ball GT is below that, and then underneath all of that we would probably put everything in Super, including the Angels. Anyway, reason number 3 is that humans enhance Saiyan DNA. Pure Saiyans take forever to turn Super Saiyan. Goku and Vegeta did not become Super Saiyans until they were adults, but then mix that Saiyan DNA with human, and you get characters that are able to go Super Saiyan even as elementary school kids. I mean, think about this. Pure Saiyan Vegeta as an adult struggled against Android 18. Meanwhile, half human, half Saiyan Kid Goten and Kid Trunks are actually making Android 18 struggle and sweat. Notice, in this panel on the right, those Saiyan children are actually pushing her back. She's gritting her teeth. She's actually having to put forth effort. You even see all the impact lines that demonstrate how much force they're applying to her. Meanwhile, right here, she just has a calm, casual face while she's breaking his arms. It is indisputable the fact that human DNA improves upon the Saiyan race by making them stronger, making them more intelligent, and making them able to go Super Saiyan at a younger age. Now, of course, out of universe, the real reason for this is probably because the writers did not feel like developing the stories of Goten and Trunks that deeply to where we have to get a whole story behind their transformations. They probably wanted to just hurry up and level them with all the other characters so you wouldn't have as many pages to read. That's probably the real reason why they did it, but in universe, human DNA improves upon Saiyan DNA. I mean, look at this comparison. Goku at 12 years old was struggling against Roshi. Meanwhile, Gohan at 12 years old is bodying Perfect Cell as a Super Saiyan 2. You cannot dispute the effect that human and Saiyan DNA have when they intermingle. And again, that would not be possible without a human being in the mix. And this is what leads me to reason number 4, something that you probably will not expect, but I hope to convince you of by the end of this video, and that's number 4, humans are Saiyans. What do I mean by the fact that humans are Saiyans? You may be thinking, that doesn't make any sense. Let's look at the evidence. Humans and Saiyans can interbreed. Their offspring are fertile. Not only that, but humans and Saiyans can both get sick and die from the same diseases. So they're susceptible to the same kinds of diseases. They can interbreed and their offspring are fertile. If you go and look at the definition of a species is a group of organisms that may interbreed and produce offspring that is also capable of reproducing the same kind. What that means is that humans and Saiyans are the same species. That's why they can interbreed. Remember, even 100 years into Dragon Ball GT, Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. can still transform into Super Saiyans, which means that all of that human DNA did not interfere with their Saiyan DNA. Why might that be? Maybe it's because humans really are Saiyans. Now, how would that even be possible? We remember that Saiyans are conquerors. They are a space-faring race. They send their children out to other planets to conquer them. Could it not be possible that maybe some Saiyans crash landed on Earth? They took it over, but then over time they started to inbreed with each other, which led to mutations. Maybe they started to lose their tails, lose their ability to transform into great apes, but they gained a lot of intelligence. Maybe they just sort of shifted their attributes from brute strength more to intelligence, because maybe they were isolated and didn't have as much to fight, so they could focus on those things. And that's probably where humans came from. Humans are an offshoot of Saiyans. Now, you may be thinking, oh, there's no evidence for that in Dragon Ball. Well, yeah, there actually is. We actually have examples of Saiyans that have lived in peace and isolation, have lost their tails and their ability to transform into apes, and are able to go Super Saiyan at a younger age like Saiyan-human hybrids. If you look in Dragon Ball Super, that's exactly what the Universe 6 Saiyans represent. So it's possible that the Universe 6 Saiyans are just on their way to becoming humans, and it's possible that the humans in Universe 7 used to be Saiyans. Let me know what you think in the comments below.